Let's take you to Ladysmith and get the very latest. A briefing is underway in terms of search and rescue operations.
Municipalities within those districts, there is going to be a heavy rain, and they must be alert, and all the systems were put in place of the district disaster center, local center, and also the province, with the national being indicated that we are facing this kind of situation. Unfortunately, it's happened all the festive season. These attacks takes place. But what is actually calming us down is that for a change, we have no town being flooded as previously, because we have mitigated that and managed to put some valve with the local municipality to ensure that even if that dam gets full, but is able to be adjusted in a manner that does not flood the town as it normally happens. So we are here to visit also the families that have lost their loved one, to pay respect to them, and also to console them, to say even if we have not found all the members of the family, we'll continue looking for them. As we have seen that the rescue team is going down the river, trying to ensure that those people are being rescued, even if they are dead, and their bodies are brought to their families. We're hoping that that is going to happen. We have DSD here working with the councillor and Red Cross, trying to ensure that those people that have survived, they got assisted with their IDs from Home Affairs, so that they will be able to put their life back, starting afresh from what they have lost.
I have a question regarding the riverbanks and Ladysmith. It's not the first time this flooding has taken place. We've been here about 3 times before. Are there any interventions to help secure those riverbanks? Because the last time it was the Cape River, and now it's the Bongiwe River.
That's why I indicated when I was presenting that we have managed to deal with one area. We have put valves so that we ensure that we adjust the dam when we feel that it's getting full. But with this one, we were also on planning how we can deal with that. With people living in the river banks, we always ask them to come to get other places. But you know, people, when they stay next to their workplace, they don't want to move. They say that it's going to be expensive for them if they move away, even if we are risking their life. So we have that problem. So with this new river that we have seen that it has caused this. But I think we must appreciate that it has not been worse than it used to be. Because if by this time the town should be flooded, but at least now we are able to move around in the town because we have the local municipality and the district and ourselves, we have put together a plan, and we have put some valves. We are going to also to look at what is the mitigation strategy that we are going to use in all other river banks, and also the dams that comes to the town, and we control them so that they don't take lives of our people.
MC, my question, from the SAPC TV News. My question is, can you just give us a rep of how has been the province of KwaZulu-Natal after the floods, maybe in terms of the stats that the department has, how many homes were affected, and also how many people are still missing?
Throughout the province, we have about 1,400 people, households that has been affected. We have lost the life in Umzinyat. We lost one life in Dandi. One boy was struck by lightning, and also there is one in Ilembe who was also drowned in one of the river in Emandeni. With that number, what one can say is that at the moment we have about 10 people that have lost their life, and we have about 13 people that are missing throughout the province, because in other areas only the household that were the houses that were partially destroyed and others totally destroyed, but people are not staying in the halls. Their neighbors and their family relatives, they took them to be safe for this season.
MEC, are there any plans to relocate some of the people in this town, because we keep on dealing with the same issue every year?
The relocation depends on the victims if they want to, because as I indicated earlier on, people they stay in those dangerous areas because they feel it's closer to where they work. Because most of the people that have drowned there in that park were people who are temporarily staying there. That's why when we get there, they were already have gone back to their relatives and their homes. We did not get all of them there, because when you ask them that let's relocate you because this area is dangerous, they don't want to move. Even now, when they have drowned, they are still going to come back. And they said, no, it's nearby where they are working. So we can't control that, and we would wish people to work with us as a department and as government, so that we are able to assist them where there are times like this. We even indicate, even if we tell them, hey, in Vulieza, it's going to be a hailstorm, please move away from the area, they won't move until they get affected, and then we come and rescue them. So as government, we have little that we can force them to come out of those areas, but we wish if they can cooperate with us and come out of those areas.
What plans to increase capacity of disaster management systems as we
We have increased the capacity. On the 15th, we demonstrated that we were ready for any eventualities that will happen throughout the province. We displayed how much capacity we have, of the vehicles that we have, of the personnel that we have. And on that day, we are saying that anything that will happen in municipalities, we distributed the amenities that they will utilize when the time comes during this festive season. We also said that we are on standby. Hence, we have seen that immediately when the call was said that there is an emergency, there is disaster in Umnambiti, there is disaster in Dandi, people were there to rescue and also to assist. Because we have the discussion, and in that stakeholders engagement that we have with the community in Edendale on the 15th of December, we were explaining how to react and respond when when the nature calls and when these disasters came, what people they can do and how they can rescue their neighbors. So we are ready. That's why we are saying that even if we are here in Mnambiti, the rescues in other areas where there is a need to do so is still continuing.
But the teams on the ground here doing the search and rescue are mostly a private team.
There is an additional from the PSA, from SAPS. We add them IPSS because we work with Al-Mdad Foundation and they brought in IPSS to work with us. So we are trying to show that we have beefed up even the rescue and search unit, including the PISS.
Okay, MEC. Okay, I'm Nonhlanhla. I'm from the local radio station around here in Ladysmith. We grew up having the similar problem like the one that we are facing right now, although it didn't take so many lives in my high school days. But in 10 years or less, we experienced a lesser problem due to, I will say 15 years or 20, due to disease. After that, it came back with a bang. I've heard you earlier on talking about the 4 valves that you've helped. Do you see maybe a similar problem being avoided? Because if ever the valves manage to help Uqedusi Dam, so that in that river next to ERS, the one that was a problem since on my childhood stage, doesn't fall over or doesn't end up to Kumela a dropping. But since now the problem carried on to Gambo Bondasu. And Gambo Bondasu, the problem that we are having, maybe, I don't know whether I've got it, whenever you drive, and then do you see you helping us as we did with Amanya Amavals? And another problem on when it comes to a disaster, hence you were talking, we as local radio station, we end up having a huge problem where we will call the office of a disaster, especially when it's weekend or at night, but they will tell us that they don't get money for overtime.
Thank you for that. I think I have indicated that with KwaZulu-Natal, which was flooding town, we have mitigated the situation, and we are also saying that with all others, even the Klip River, as we are talking, is the one that has affected us now. We are going to do something to ensure that we make our people safe. If it needs that we expand or we do something around the river so that it doesn't flood and kill people, we are going to do that. As I'm standing here, I can't give the precise answer on that one. What is it that we can do? After the assessment has been done and we'll be clear on what intervention that needs to be done, then we'll intervene. As we did with KwaZulu-Natal, we said no, let's put more valve in that dam so that people don't get flooded, the towns don't get flooded. But even now, with the Klip River, we are going to do something about it and ensure that people are safe. But we need to work as a team, working with the people of this area to ensure that these disasters don't come back in the near future. And we must also say that yes, we don't have much because I don't know which center you're talking about, because there are 3 centers that you must tell me which one, because we have a local disaster center, we have district disaster center, we have provincial disaster center. If it's a district that is saying that no, they don't have money, they can't go and do their work, I'm not sure which one is that. I can't speak on that, but I can speak on the province, because in the province they will never tell me that if there are people that want assistance. I tell them that I don't even ask them. I just tell them that there is an emergency, there is disaster in this area. Within 30 minutes or 40 minutes, they give me the report that they have been there on the site, they have activated every report. And they call job meetings. Even Christmas Day, they call job meetings so that they get an understanding on all these districts that have been affected. What is the state of affairs and what is it that needs to be done to rescue our people. So I can't explain for the municipality whether they do have the money or not, or the district. I can't vow for them or answer for them. They will answer for themselves.
Thank you very much, MC, and members of the press.
Well, there you hear the MEC for Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, Ms. Bongiwe Sithole-Moloi, speaking on giving an update about the work that has been done so far in KwaZulu-Natal regarding the floods. And I'll just give you an update with regards to the statistics that she gave, actually looking at the province now, saying that throughout KwaZulu-Natal at least 13 people are missing. Over 1,000 households are affected because of the severe weather that we saw across the province, mostly northern parts of KwaZulu-Natal. The MEC says that warnings were given on the 21st of December of this imminent severe weather that ultimately tore across the province from about Christmas Eve going forward. But what we do know so far is that the death toll has increased across the province. The MEC says that a life was lost in Umzinyati during a flood there. A person was struck by lightning in Dundee. And of course we know a young child died in Mandeni in the Ilembe district just north of eThekwini. He was trying to cross a low-lying bridge. And here in Ladysmith, my apologies, we know that the bodies of 6 people have been recovered so far. Search and rescue teams, as you'll see in the distance, have been scouring the riverbanks of the Klip River to actually try and find at least 12 other people reported to be missing here in Ladysmith. So we know that the death toll has increased. The MEC gives a number, she says, of about 10 people, but we will be looking for clarity on what the exact figures are, how many people have died across the province as a result of severe weather patterns. And of course, the biggest concern question that was raised to her was with regards to the capacity of disaster management teams from various reporters, but especially one reporter who works for a newspaper here in Ladysmith and grew up here in Ladysmith. She said that throughout her life she has seen severe floods and often the town is flooding, and she questioned the capacity and the work of disaster management teams and whether there is funding for them to work constantly. But the MEC defended the provincial government, going on to say that from what she knows so far, and right now she's going to leave to speak to some of the families, specifically the Mthembu and Msimang family, who lost a number of people. She defends the disaster management team, saying that going forward she will liaise with some on the ground, but so far they have strengthened their capacity for personnel to be on the ground and for equipment or assets to be given to affected families. However, here in Ladysmith at least, it is police rescues on the ground, but mostly private rescues from the IPSS Medical Search and Rescue, that same team that we have been following for a long time. Perhaps in the distance, my colleague Captain Kosi can show you some of the family members who were actually surrounding us as we were listening into this media briefing, hoping to gain some further insight. There are also family members just scattered around this area waiting for an update. They've been keeping a close eye on rescue teams, especially trying to ascertain what information they can gain, how closer they can come to seeing their loved ones, or at least finding the bodies of their loved ones. It's been 3 days. The numbers are varying between the official provincial Department of Cooperative Governance. However, the private rescue teams on the ground say that what they know so far is that 6 people have been found dead in Ladysmith and 12 people are missing here in Ladysmith. That's the numbers from the ground, from the search teams here. But we will be here for the rest of the day to speak to family members as the MEC goes there, and to see what IPSS search and rescue teams and police services, including the K9 unit, have found, if anything, as the day progresses. It's going to rain very soon. There are dark clouds in the distance, which will definitely affect this ongoing operation.
Karina Jagmohan, you mentioned the Mthembu family, which you were following quite closely yesterday. It touched a lot of our viewers. Do we have an update? Do we know what is happening with them today, at least?
Indeed, members of the Mthembu family and members of the Msimang family, so it's both sides of that family that are searching for their loved ones. No update at this point as yet, but you can see members of the family here. As you can see, the MEC is briefing some of the family members here, just giving them an answer, and there are members of both the Mthembu and Msimang families who lost loved ones. At least 10 people missing from both those families together. The Mthembu family says 9 people are missing from their family, and what we hear so far is that there was also a father and his 2 children who were swept away from the caravan park. Only the daughter has been found. We heard from the leader of their church that the family was wrapping Christmas presents on Christmas Eve when that flash flood hit their home. The father, the daughters were swept away. The mother, she was found at one of the robots, quite a distance from her home. She was found alive, and she is receiving counseling and care at this point. Her daughter's body has been found, but the father and the child are still missing. These are various community members, family members that have come from across this region of KwaZulu-Natal that is now getting an update from the MEC, and we will connect with them as soon as we can.
Okay, thank you very much for that update, Karina Jagmohan in Ladysmith, KwaZulu-Natal for us.